Look at this shit. What's up, you guys? It's Nicole. Welcome back to my channel, Real Talk Recovery, where we talk about recovery from addiction and I share my life with you. Today, we have a very special guest, my friend Dee. Me and Dee met like in October or September of last year, I think. And
yeah, September.
Yeah, and he is sober now, and he's going to tell you guys a story. So, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let you take it from the top. What I want you to do first is share with us what it was like when you were growing up as a kid. Did you have it rough, or was it like everything was great and you just kind of got into the wrong crowd? Share with us about that.
Okay. As a young kid, I saw a lot that I shouldn't have seen, I guess. My mom was addicted to meth from the time I was born until about 8. We live in Lake Elsinore, which is in Riverside County. My mom's best friend from high school's name was Vinny, and he was always kind of like my dad. I've never met my biological father, so he took care of me like his own. He noticed my mom was in a bad way, came out, picked us up, took us to Orange County and got my mom clean. She's been clean ever since. But so at a young age, I saw quite a bit of things that I shouldn't have seen, experienced a lot of things that I shouldn't have experienced. How I started with opiates. I raced dirt bikes my whole life. I broke bones a lot. So I started out with Vicodin when I was 13 years old, and sorry about that.
Are you there? It's okay. It's okay. It happens sometimes.
I lost my spot.
You
Okay.
got on Vicodin when you
So
were
I
13.
started taking opiates prescribed when I was like 13, 14 years old. And I liked it, man. I liked how it felt, It didn't become an issue much throughout my teenage years. I never really got hooked that I know of. But I got kicked out of school early, started selling weed and getting into that lifestyle. One thing led to another. Then I started taking Norcos and shit. And I took Norco for a good 6 years. I'd take like sets of 10, 4 or 5 times a day. So I was taking like 40 or 50 pills a day. And I was talking to this girl at the time, and she goes, and I didn't know she did anything. Like I thought she was clean and shit, but she goes, I don't know why you're spending all your money on all those pills. This shit's way cheaper and it gets you way higher. And I'm like, oh, I'm down with that, And she didn't even give me the option to like smoke it. She was just like, here, and mainlined me right there. A week and a half later, she overdosed from that same bag of heroin that she gave me. Yeah, her name's Chelsea. Rest in peace to Chelsea. But so that was my beginning journey of heroin use. I went on that run for like 6 months to a year. I called my uncle one day because I was taking Xanax at the same time. I would take like 10 bars, and I was shooting like 3 grams a day. By just being a pig with my drugs. I had a lot. I sold a house and I had a lot of money at the time, and I was just spending it, like just running amok, spending it, doing whatever. I called my uncle and I was like, hey man, look, I'm gonna die. I've been awake for 4 days. You know, um, I don't know what to do. And he says, all right, well, I'm gonna pick you up right now. And he came and picked me up at the In-N-Out here in Lake Elsinore and took me to a place called U-Turn for Christ. It's a pretty gnarly program. They make you kick with nothing. They don't give you anything. They tell you to pray about it.
Damn,
to take the pain away. It's pretty crazy, but it was like a boot camp type of deal. Like it's a working program. When you get in trouble, you got to go like dig a 5x5x5 hole in the backyard and shit. Like, so I never wanted to go back. So after I got out of there, I spent 4 months there. After I got out of there, I was fine. I was fine for a long time. Till like a year and a half ago, I got injured. I'm just going to say I got injured. Most guys wouldn't believe this. I broke my penis having sex, right? And the doctor doped me up with fentanyl and morphine and shit.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. What? How did that happen?
How did it happen?
I mean, was it like, did it bend? You can't hear me? Okay. Hold on. Did I scream too loud? Sorry. Can you hear me? Hold on. The best part. Okay, hold on. Now. Okay, he'll come back, y'all. He'll come back. Damn. I was like, you just got to the great. Can you guys hear me? Can you guys hear me in the chat? Okay, here he comes, guys.
Hey. Say something.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
Yes.
we're good. All right.
Okay. Tell me about this. The penis broke. I need to know the details, please.
Okay. Let me shut the door for a second.
Okay, I won't be loud. I'll try to be quiet.
All right. What can I say? She was bent over. When girls have an orgasm real hard, they clench up real hard, right?
Yes.
And she turned right when I was going to go back in, and it was like my wiener hit a wall. So basically, I looked at it, and homeboy could have looked around a corner. It was so bent, you know? And there was blood coming out and shit. So it was terrifying. It was a very fucking terrifying experience. Like, that's my manhood, you know?
Yeah.
So I get to the doctor, and they're like, if you don't have emergency surgery now, you'll never have another erection in your life. And I said, boy, why aren't we already in surgery? What the fuck? You
Right.
know? So we went into surgery, but they doped me full of stuff, and they gave me oxys to take home. And like, for a drug addict, that's a no-no, but I was in so much pain. There's no way that I was getting through that without opiates. So I took them for as long as I had the prescriptions, you know, but then they ran out. And pills here nowadays, they're like $12 a piece sometimes for Norcos, you know, like it's not doable. So I just went back to doing what I knew how to do. You know, I was buying an ounce a week, and now that's like $850 a week I was spending. Nobody knew. My family didn't know. I'm a heavy equipment operator by trade. I have a good job. I hold my job down even when I'm using, you know, nobody could tell any difference between me except for the fact that I've lost like 40 pounds in the last year too. I just blamed it on work. Oh, I'm just fucking not sleeping, not eating enough, you know. So New Year's or Christmas Eve, this last Christmas Eve, that's my mom's birthday. And it's just like a hard time, you know. My pops ain't around no more. He passed away when I was 13 and shit. So like, excuse me, the holidays are always kind of hard for me. And I overdid it. You know, I couldn't hit anymore on my body anywhere.
Yeah.
So I could only hit my neck, right? Well, you have main arteries that go up your neck right here. And I just so happened to hit that artery, and it sent me into a seizure right away, and I overdosed right there in my mom's bathroom. The ambulance guys resuscitated me, brought me back, and brought me to the hospital. I woke up there kind of like, what the fuck happened, you know, and made the promise that I wouldn't do it again and this and that, you know, and blah, blah. I swear to God, I'll never shoot it again. I'll never shoot it again. That's what I kept telling my mom and my chick. I'll never shoot it again. Well, I never said I wouldn't smoke it, you know? So I came home from the fucking hospital and I started smoking the shit, and they were hip to my shit now because the cat was out the bag. So they knew what I was doing, but I was waiting for all the insurance stuff to go through so I could get into the detox. And I finally did on January 3rd. Been clean ever since. And life's so much better now, you guys. Like, just hiding the drugs from your family, it's like a full-time job in itself. So if you're working and you got to do that after work, like I was buying in bulk, but it was still a pain in the ass. I had to go to dude's house once a week, you know, come up with a reason why $800 is missing out of my account and shit.
How are you doing that? Like, the kind of bitch I am, my man couldn't sneak nothing past me, especially $800 of the dollars. You know what I mean?
Here it is right here. Like, she wouldn't know if I was on a prevailing wage job or a normal job. Sometimes I make $30 an hour as a normal operator. Sometimes I make $75 an hour as an operator on like bases or schools or anything that's government. So my pay rate would double, and so I had that extra money in the bank. Like,
you had
nobody
that
would know.
leeway.
yeah, I had the money to be able to blow it without anybody noticing, and that was the main problem because, like I said, I'm a pig when it comes to drugs. Like I'm that way. I just do a lot of them. My tolerance is high. I just do a lot, and it was hard though. It was hard. I was lying to like my girl thought I was cheating on her, which I kind of
Yeah.
was. I wasn't cheating on her with girls or nothing, but I was cheating on her with that drug, and just for me to know that, like, just thinking back on it and just all the bullshit I told, I would make up some silly ass stories. Like, I don't even know how people believed what I'd say. Like,
Because
oh, I
we're
lost my
very, very
wallet.
convincing.
I'd be like, I lost
Addicts
my
are. We
wallet.
can go ahead.
Yeah. I'd be like, I lost my wallet. And she'd be like, oh, well, then how'd you cash your check? How'd you have your ID to cash your check? It's like, fuck, like,
Yeah.
so they just started getting hip to my shit after that overdose. And thank God for it, because if I didn't marry my wife and get into detox, I'd still be using right now. I would have told them to go fuck themselves. Who are you to tell me what I
Right.
can't do? I'm taking care of my business. I take care of my kids. I take care of my life. Nobody can tell me that I can't fucking do drugs. Everybody's got something that they do. That's the mentality I had. It was like,
Yeah.
okay, mom, you're disabled. You're on opiates from a doctor. How are you going to tell me that those opiates are okay, but the ones that I buy from my dude ain't okay? You can't fucking say that. So, that's the card I was pulling, and that's not the right card to pull either. No matter what anybody else is doing, it's all about you, man. And you got to make sure you're okay in order for your family to be okay. So, I just turned 30 in October, and it's like I wasted my whole 20s with this shit. And I don't get me wrong, I'm okay. I have a good career and shit, but I would be so much more advanced and further in my career, especially if I wouldn't have been fucking around. But thank God it's over, and here I am to say that I lived through that shit and that
Yeah.
anybody can, because I was straight up slamming a fucking ounce a week. And if I can do that and I can quit, then nobody's got a fucking excuse that they can't quit.
Right.
Like, I just tested myself today, and there's still dope in my system today. That's how much I was doing. Or
What?
never mind. No,
I'm like, what?
I I was wrong. I didn't mean to say it like that. I didn't pee test today. I pee tested 12 days after I was clean, and it
Okay.
was still
Okay.
coming up. I was still coming up dirty, and my mom's like, "What the fuck? Why are you still dirty?" I'm like, "Mom, I was using a lot. It's not just gonna go away in 3 or 4 days." So finally, I'm pissing clean again, and they're chilling out on me
Thank
and shit.
God.
Yeah,
I've
because
been,
it stayed forever in my system, and I don't know why. Like, it was 15 days before I could piss clean. It was
I
weird.
don't, I had a problem with whenever I was trying to get my system cleaned out. I was like, benzos would not leave me. They stuck with me for
Me
45
neither.
days.
45, 50 days. Yeah.
Right.
The Xanax really stays in you.
And then people are looking at you like you're lying. And you're like, I'm
Yeah.
really clean for once I'm
Yeah.
clean.
It's
So,
and they know my habits. They know how I am when I use. I'm a hermit. Like, now I'm out with my friends, like I'm always wanting to be out of the house. Normally I would be cooped up in my room catching a nod because that's the shit, like, fuck, heroin was my first love, man. Opiates were my first love, and it's terrible to say that, but there's no other feeling in the whole fucking world than that, and like
I
it
know. I
just
know.
one day it just clicked in my brain. You know what? That fuck this shit, dude. How am I gonna what the fuck? You know how many sand rails and fucking RVs I could have had by now if I wasn't buying that shit? My life would
Oh
be
my God.
totally
Yeah.
different. You know what I mean? And like, just in the last few months, just the heroin money that I put away, because I've been putting away that same 850 a week, except for I've been
Mm.
putting it in the bank instead of paying to the fucking heroin guy. And it's like the money that's around now there's no comparison.
You made him rich. You know
Oh, he gets
that.
mortgaged four
Like your
times over
dealer.
every single month. Yeah, homeboy would show
Right.
up in a new car every time he came, and they were bought cars, not hot cars. You know what I mean? The guy that I fucked with was straight from the cartel. He's way up there in the ball game. It took me a long time to get his number too. So like, once I got that number, it's like, fuck, now I got the hookup. I can get keys if I want. It's like, but do I want that? Because the more I got, then the more I did, then the more it's just a fucked up cycle, man. But I'm here to say, like,
And that's what happens. Like when you have a job like that and you're able to maintain and function like you were, I see that happen. My husband was the same way, where
Yeah.
he could have a job and make money and have a truck and do all these things. That wasn't me. I was homeless under the bridge. You know what I mean?
Some
Like,
people are
I could
different.
not maintain.
Yeah. It was instilled in me at a young age, like, hey, you gotta work for your shit. And like I grow weed on the side too, so I've always financially had that also. I grow weed on a big scale and shit. And that's something that I'll never stop. The doctor doesn't even want me to stop that because it helps me stay clean. Some people
Right.
can't smoke pot and stay clean off opiates. I'm the opposite. I have to or I will go use. I need that release, you know what I'm saying? To fucking
I
kick
understand. Yeah.
back, to not have anxiety attacks, to fucking shit, to be able to eat normal right now. You know, I got to get high or get stoned. I'm not going to call it high cuz it ain't, it's like a medicine, you know. It depends on how you use it and if you abuse it or not, but even
Right.
like
Right.
my addiction specialist said, "Hey, just fucking do what you got to do as long as you're not on heroin, and that's all I care about, man. You know, don't do any hard drugs. Weed's weed. It's legal out here now too, so it's just like it's so much different, you know."
Yeah, and a lot of people use a marijuana as like you said, like a natural anxiety medication. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like my wife don't even smoke much, but she's got bad anxiety problems. She'll wake up in the middle of the night panicking. I give her one hit, she passes back out right away. Fucking,
Hmm.
and it's
Damn,
not.
I
It's
remember those days when I could smoke a joint and fucking. But this is what happens to me when I smoke a joint. I'm eating two pieces. I'm eating a whole pizza. I'm eating
that's right,
two
girl.
gallons of ice cream.
That's what's up.
Whenever I used to get stoned, I was so fucking. Me and my sisters, we would just smoke and smoke and smoke. And now it's like I would eat the whole house. My husband, I used to smoke with him, and he hated smoking pot, but I would smoke. And then I would just make all these things. Like I'd be like, let's grill steaks, let's make
Last
stuffed
night,
mushrooms.
last night I woke up at 2 in the morning and made nachos.
Yeah, like I'm
Yeah,
talking like 4-layer nachos with like hamburger meat, cheese, beans, sour
that's
cream,
funny
tomatoes,
shit. Hell
like
yeah,
getting all
that's dope.
like chef style and shit, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, so that's just something that I gotta do it, you know, and I'm around it, so like it's always been second nature to me. I've always been around big groves and it's just like part of my life, and it's very peaceful to grow pot also, you know, take care of my plants, sing to them and shit. So that's part of my therapy. And I don't know, I'm a firm believer in medical marijuana and how much it helps people, and it's helping save my life, man, so I can't knock on it, you know.
I'm
I would
just
never
really
knock on
happy and
anybody.
I'm proud of you
I mean,
that you
look at how
are
much
sober.
I can just tell how much different I am as a human being. Like when you talked to me before on the phone, fucking
You
like a
are an
fucking
asshole.
retard zombie. Well, yeah, and I'm a dick when I use too. You know, I don't give a fuck. Like this chick, I'm like, oh, you want to answer now? All right, well, fuck you then. You know what I mean?
I was like,
I was like,
what are
Nicole,
you
I fucking need
talking
you
about?
right now, man. I need you right now.
I was like,
But
I'm
nah,
so
it's all good.
sorry.
Yeah, it's all good.
Man,
You
you
had
know
a big
what?
hand in this. You know, you did. You did it. You had a big hand in all this, and I got to give you a big thanks for that because you called me. None of my real friends called me and checked to see if I was okay. You were one of the only people that did that, so I really appreciate that. You guys, this lady's a very good woman, and you know, watch her
Anytime.
channel. Hit
You're gonna
that
make me
fucking
cry.
subscribe button. You know, hit
Yeah,
that bell. Ding
yeah,
ding,
that's
motherfucker.
right. Man, I do anything I can to help anybody out. You know what I'm saying? And
Well, and that's how most of us are when we get clean too. Like I'm down to help whoever. Anybody's got any questions for me? Hit me up. I'm an open book. I'll answer any question you got. I've gone through it all. Any type of assault, battery, sexual assault. I've gone through all kinds of bullshit. So if anybody needs to talk about some shit, I ain't gonna tell nobody, man. You guys can talk to me all you fucking want, and I'll just listen, you know. But if I
I'm
could just
so
help
proud
one,
of you. Like
if
I want
one
to just
person
hug
gets
your little face.
anything, if just one person gets anything out of this and one person gets clean from this, then I did my fucking job. And I hope they do. I just hope any of you guys that are trying to hide shit from your family, it's too much of a pain in the ass. It's easier to kick than it is to do that. So you might
Yep.
as well just kick and get it over with. You know, Suboxone's a miracle drug. You'll only feel like shit for like 2 days and you're good. You know,
Yep.
so just do it. There's no excuse to not do it. There's none. I was throwing up and shitting all over the fucking rehab place. Who cares? That's what their job is. They're there to clean that shit up. Don't be embarrassed. Get well. Go somewhere. Get well. I was the type of person, I can't kick it home. I try to kick it home, I'm gonna pick up. No fucking
Right.
doubt. I got to be locked the fuck in somewhere for a week and I need to go get my shit handled. And by the time you get out of there, your head's so clear that you're not, and you just went through that sickness. For me, anyways, for me, there's no fucking way I'm gonna get high again. Not by my choice, not by my hand, you know? The only, like, I'm not blaming it on anybody but me, but if I would have never had that happen to me, if I never would have tore my urethra and tore my dick muscle and shit, I would have never went back to the doctor and I would have never gone on opiates. But that was such a bad injury. I had no fucking choice, you know, like I
Right.
really didn't. And as an addict, that sucks, man. Like I worked so hard to get where I was at. Everything was good, and then that happened, and it's like, fuck, you go from one person to another real quick, and it ain't your fault. Because most opiate addicts I know, they started from a doctor, and you know they move their way up. That's just the
Yep.
fucking story, and that's sad that it's even legal for a doctor to do that. You know, like I don't. They should make you fucking sign something when you're about to take Norcos or OxyContin or you know Roxy's especially. Those don't even get me going on those bad boys.
My girlfriend called me the other day and she goes, Nicole, do you remember the time that you came over and you had been up for like 13 days? And she said I was crawling on the floor, picking up pieces of blue fuzz, thinking it was Roxy.
I've only had one experience with meth in my life, and I thought there were people swinging in the trees. I called the cops on myself. I was running around outside with a gun, shooting at people that weren't there. Like, yeah,
Yep.
I'm not an upper kind of guy. I go nuts when I do that shit. So,
Oh,
but
Lord. I
I
do
just hope
too, but I just
anybody can
kept
get
doing them.
anything. Like, I just hope somebody gets something out of this. You know, I hope it hits somebody's heart and it hits home because you keep on going down the path you're going. If you are using, you're going to fucking die. Straight up.
That's
You're going
right.
to die. And I thought I was invincible. That was the only time I overdosed over my whole shit. I'm not invincible. And that's when I woke up and said, okay, I got a little boy I got to take care of. I got a 5-year-old son and he needs his father. I'll be damned if another kid gets raised without a dad like I did. I've never met my biological father. I don't even know who the fuck that fool is. And it's very important to me to be a father, you know? And so when that happened, it was like, hey, homie, you need to fucking wake up. You know, I even like punched myself in the face, like, because I felt like I deserved it. Like, what? How dare you do that to your son? You know, how dare
I
you?
know what you mean.
And I just hope this hits somebody. One of you guys out there, fucking get clean, because it's worth it. All you guys out there get clean, because it's worth it. You
Yeah.
know, it's just so crazy. All my relationships are better. Everything's better. There's nothing that isn't better from being clean. Nothing. There's nothing.
I
You know?
know. I
It's so
told
much
you.
easier. Rent out here in California is fucking retarded. It's like $2,200 a month. Well, shit, now I can afford it easy, you know,
Yeah.
because I ain't
Damn, that's so
using.
much.
It's fucking bad, dude. It's bad.
Y'all, I don't know how y'all do that. Let me just tell y'all something.
Uh,
I pay my rent here is $800. And I have a
I'd be
two-story
rich.
house with a two-story garage with a two-car garage. We pay $800, and all of our bills is probably like $1,500 for the whole house. You know what I mean?
That's just like not even a third of my rent.
But
That's
they don't
without
pay us
utilities and all
shit.
that. I
Like
know. I know.
like our minimum my
Yeah.
husband has his master's degree, so he makes okay money, but like for me,
hmm
I make
hmm
$10 an hour, honey. That's it.
Yeah, that's
You
how other
know?
states are. But even even the minimum wage out here is moving up to 15, but you still can't survive out here on that.
Mm-mm.
You can't get a
No.
studio apartment for $1,000, much less a house, you know, not
Damn.
nowhere. And I'm talking in the fucking ghetto, you can't get a house, you can't get no studio, you know. Maybe a studio in a shithole for $1,000. That's like the
Yeah.
best that you could do, but yeah, it's just ridiculous. They're supposed to be putting rent control on pretty soon and stuff like that, but I haven't seen it yet. Look at it. Looks like I got a pretty flower in my hair.
It does. Listen to me. 40 something people came out to this live tonight. So there's been like 42, 43 people in here. So a lot of people got to hear your story. A lot of people are saying that they can relate to you, that you're really relatable. And so a lot of people are hearing you right now. So I'm just really proud of you, man. I almost feel like I get to see like somebody that I met when they were in their addiction, and now I get to talk to them like in front of me, doing the right thing, you know?
Right.
And so,
I was a zombie, I was a zombie. Now I'm myself again, and I'm not that way. I'm an extrovert. I'm an outgoing motherfucker. I'm here to make people laugh, and like I don't care.
yeah.
Oh yeah, I broke my dick. Joke's on me, but you guys are the ones that are laughing, like I
Dude,
don't
I did
care.
not expect you to say that. When you
Well,
said
I
that,
mean, it's
I was
part of
like,
my story. It's a big part of my story,
but I
a
mean,
huge one.
it blew my mind. I was
Not a
like,
lot
did
of
he
people have
just
heard
say,
of it. Yeah, most people haven't had a cast on their dick before, but it happened to
did you
me. I
have
had
to have a cast?
full on fucking
Damn.
paper mache. I had a pink one. Yeah, because I'm a gangster like that.
Did people sign it?
Yeah, just chicks, not dudes, but my
Yeah.
girl at the time signed her name on it because she's the one that did it in the first place.
Damn,
Yeah,
that's
it
crazy.
was a nightmare. It was a
I'm gonna
nightmare.
tell my husband that story when he gets home tonight. Like for
It was a
real. I'll be
nightmare.
like,
It really
you
was.
gotta watch this video, man, because this guy broke his song.
Yeah, it was terrible. It really was.
Oh,
But
well,
all you guys
listen.
watching, if there's anything that you guys need at all, I'll give you guys my Instagram at the end of the video, and you guys feel free to message me anytime you want. Any questions about Suboxone? I've been taking it for years. I know everything about it. I know all the uses. I know everything about it. You can ask me. I'm an open book. If you don't want to call Dr. B and ask him about it, because he's the real professional. But if any of you guys have any questions whatsoever about addiction, about getting better, about anything, even if you are in active addiction, I'm down to help you. Anybody. So feel free.
Good deal.
But,
I'm proud of you, man.
I got 10%, so we're gonna have to.
Okay, well, tell him your Instagram handle, and I'll link it in this video too. Go ahead and tell him that, and then I'll let you go. Okay.
Okay, it's DannyP.03. Super simple. DannyP03.
And
Danny
I know
P.
it. So
.03. Yeah, and Nicole,
Danny
you have it. So
.03. So after this, what I'm gonna do is, I love you, man. I'm proud of you. You know, you can call me anytime. Tell your old lady I love her too. Tell her thank you for getting you on the insurance so you could go to rehab. Okay.
yeah. All right.
And
Much love,
thanks
guys.
for your story. It was epic. Mwah. Love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye. That was so awesome. That was one of the best stories I've heard in a long time, you guys. Give it up for Danny. Damn, he did good. What a story. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wrap up this live stream. That way people that want to come to it and watch it won't be too long. And I'll come back on. So y'all meet me back here. I'm going to upload this video and I'll come right back on, okay? All right, love y'all.